Hello everyone, Satnam. Today we continue with the meaning of sounds course. We will go into the letter H, but before we do the letter H, I want to do a little comment about the letter Y. Something we were talking the other day. I mentioned how Y is very much connected to the number 5, linked to identity and you and the feeling of you, yeah? And yearning and yawning and a lot of expression of like the voice linked to the voice, and that's very much connected to 5. But there were some other words that I mentioned and I kind of connected them. I kind of wanted them to connect to the 4 and the 6 because Y we know is connected to the heart, the heart chakra, and so that's 4 and 6. And I feel like I was kind of forcing a little bit that jump into the 4 and 6, and I could afterwards listen to some of them like yonder, like yesterday, and yearning. Maybe yonder not so much. Yonder is more towards the 6, but yesterday and the yearning is more about the past, is more about yearning is like longing. So it's a lot of 2 and 8 in that. And talking about the years to come, yeah, the years that have to happen, youth. This is about 2 and 8. So I wonder about the Y. I'm not sure whether it's going to be, it's in the center of the 5, but that's going to have an effect to the 4 and 6 and another into the 2 and the 8. So I'm not sure how is that going to play. Again, it's very hard to place letters into one single number. And as we will start to combine them with other ones, we will see how they relate to each other to create sequences or some other things. Also to, again, bear in mind as always that it's not a perfect work what we are doing. English language is very complex and has adapted, and some sounds will contain things from different numbers and different meanings. So we have an overall feeling of it, and to me the overall feeling of that Y was linked to the 5, and from the 5 going into the 4 and the 6 and the 2 and the 8. So I would say that because I didn't mention it the other day about the 2 and the 8. In contrast with that, I find the letter H, the sound of H, very much aligned with the 4 and the 6. That one is that there is really little variations that it doesn't go too far away from that. So let's explore what the sound of the letter H is. Now the H is glottal, voiceless, fricative. We always do this to see what does that mean. We will explore it. Glottal means it happens in the glottis. That's where the vocal folds are. It's more like a fold than a chord. It's not a line, but a fold, like something folding. And this is a place where we do the sound of the yeah. And that's unusual. Even deeper sounds like g, 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 they are higher. It goes deeper. So this is the most specific, the thing that is most specific about this sound, the H, is that it happens back here. It's voiceless, meaning that there is no vibration, but it is fricative, which means that there is friction. There is some friction in that sound, and it's caused by the narrow opening of these vocal folds to allow the passage of the air. So because of this being so linked to the place where the air is passing through, the glottis, that sound, the sound of H, is very much connected to, well, sounds of air and breath. So we have that some words are like huff, or hush, or heave, or hiss, or howl, or hum, like humming. We relate it to the H, and that's very much connected to the air coming through. Yeah, even when we are humming, we are not really letting the words come out of our mouth. It's happening here. Is down there. So hush, heave, yeah, hiss. And this place, the place of the heart, it's a hollow place. The throat is an empty space. When we do, sometimes in yoga, we want to do meditations on elements. And if you want to meditate on the element of water, there's a number of things that you can do. You can relate to certain organs that are linked to water, or you can meditate on the chakra that is linked to the water. There's a number of things that you can do. When you want to relate to the emptiness the one place that is fully empty in the body is the throat, because it has this cartilage, yeah, that allows it to keep in place even though there's nothing passing through. And it has to be empty so that both food can go in when we eat, but also air in and out as we breathe. And that's fundamental. If we look at any other organ, like the lungs, when the lungs are empty, they are not hollow, they are flattened, they squeeze. The stomach as well, when it's empty, it's not like an open big space, but it's just hollow inside. It gets flattened. But the throat stays, and so the throat is very much connected to this hollowness. So the sound of hollow, that's the H. And we will find all others, like a hole, like a hat, or a hood, or a hole. It's an empty space. And when we are producing the H sound, this capacity there is this hollowness, right? And then there is the we are forcing the air to stop, and then we allow it to flow. So we have to hold on to the breath so that it can create this sound. Because if we don't hold on to it, it just comes out. So to do the it forces us to, in a way, constrict, yeah, to restrict the amount of breath that it can flow through. So we are holding on to the breath, and this makes the holding, yeah? And so we have having and holding and handle and hitch, to hitch something, like tying it, and hugs. A hug is holding, harnessing, and also handing, hipping, and hurt. Yeah, the hand is like where the place, not handing like giving, but the hand where you hold things, yeah? And hip and hurt. So things that are contained and held. This hollow space is only hollow because it's contained, yeah? It's kept in place. We will see that there is a number of sounds which reflect some kind of container. We already saw the V as well, and there was some sort of container with that. We will see in the next sound when we go into the K. That's very much linked to containers as well. But there are different qualities to this. And in here, the air is passing through, but it's just we are retaining and we are holding on to it. It's like our breath is our life. So we are holding on to the breath of life as well. And we find other words like this, like hang, or hinge, or hitch, or hook. Yeah, something that hooks, something that you can hang. That's like holding. It holds something. It's just like we hold the breath so it can come out. So it's the same way, and we are holding it like that. And we are, in a way, stopping the breath from moving. So halting, yeah, as well. Halting, restricting, yeah, is the hem, is a hinder, it's a hobble, and a hamper. But the H hampers and hinders in a different way from other letters like the letter D, which we will get to in a while. D is a little bit farther down the road. But the purpose of H is to have and to hold and not to subdue like other letters. So yeah, the holding is different from other qualities, from the qualities of holding, from the qualities of restricting or hampering or hindering. In other letters, we will find that it's different. Now the breath, this is happening linked to our lungs, is very connected to our heart. And so the sounds of the H are also very connected to the heart. We already saw words like hug is connected to the heart. Even the sound of heart is connected to the H. And we do an easy association in yoga when you love somebody, yeah? When your heart is full of love for somebody, you want to hug them, right? So that's connected in that way through that H. And we will see that our breath, in a way, is the thing that is our true home. As long as we are in this planet, as long as we have breath, that's our true home. We may change places many times, but the breath is where we live. So that home, H, again, home, it can be holy, it can be hope, it can be halo, yeah, it can be a hymn, a host, a hail, a home, a hearth, a hole, a hut where we live, a help where there is heat and hot and a haze. It's a warm breath, yeah, the breath is warm. So we find these qualities of home is warm, is cozy, is a nice place where you want to stay. And that's the feeling that we get in our hearts. Heart, somebody who lives in their heart is nice, warm and cozy. We want to be close to them. We want to hold on to them. Yeah, we want to have that quality for ourselves. So that's very connected. And some of these qualities we can identify like very high, yeah, like holy. Yeah, and that's because our house can be both. It can be a heaven or it can be a hell. Yeah, it can turn into one way or the other. We are moving within the 4 and 6 realm all. Yeah, the heart and the lungs. But the 6 has this aspect of the sacred, but it can also go into hell. So it can go both ways. And so when we go into heaven, that's when the H is mostly associated with the softer vowels and liquid sounds like the L and the M. So a home, a hearth, a hug, holy, to heal. Yeah, that's like the liquid. And heaven. Yeah. But it can easily also go into hell, especially when we have a harsh sound after and shorter vowels. When a harsh sound would be like the K or the G or even the T or the S. So hell, hug, hitch, hinder. Yeah, how interesting. The N is there, but it's different from heaven. Yeah, hinder. The D is there at the end. After the N, and the D is something that brings you down. We will see the D later on, but it brings you down. It subdues. Yeah. So hustle, hostile, horror, or hook. So it's a 6 as well. Even the hook is like a 6. Sometimes we call it the hook of grace as well. 6. It can go both ways, but you can associate hook to something horror as well. So the thing that is coming down, is it like saintly or is it horrible? Yeah, we don't know. Yeah. So we produce this narrowing sound in the glottis, and through this narrowness out comes the mouth, and the mouth is what gives this oral chamber gives the capacity to create a great resonance. And so it can feel expansive, it can feel spacious. And basically the H is giving breath to the next vowel, which is very similar to what we were seeing in the Y. You, ye, like yodeling, yeah, yielding, yeah, or yelling. It was something like the y was giving way to the next vowel, and the next vowel was determining the quality of the word. With the H is kind of similar as well, and some open vowels will create a more open feeling, like whole or hollow. Yeah, so the H linked to the O is going to create that open feeling. But there's actually a few qualities that can be associated to this aspect that the H is giving way to the next vowel. Some of them will be high, like a hill or a hump, or hover, to hover, like the head or a helm that we wear on the head. Yeah? Some of them will be about this hollowness I already mentioned, the hole and the hull, the hat and the hull, like the hull of a ship. Some of them will be about being ahead, because you push the sound and is bringing the feeling of going ahead, like head or hail, or being in a haste and on the hunt, yeah, hunting. So is the H is bringing you forward in a way. But also because the H is happening before, it can feel that there is something behind an enclosure. Yeah, the H is behind the enclosure. What comes after is going forward. But before, it can feel like the hedge or a hem or a hood. Yeah, like a neighborhood is like enclosed in some way, and hind and hold. But it also can feel just spacious. So like the hall, a harbor, a heath, or even the horizon. It's just like a wide, open feeling. So that's the H. It's very much 4 and 6, and it's opening up. Let me just, because I was drawing the letters as well, see how it can be interesting as well. I find a nice connection with the H. If you have, we have our lungs. You can see like our lungs on both sides of our heart. And if you want to check the Sanskrit, I'm going to try to draw it. I'm not good at write in Sanskrit, but it's something like this. And then it's like this, which is a kind of funny symbol, but if you turn it around, it looks like ha or ho, yeah? So that's how I remember that this is the H, but I cannot write it very well, but this is kind of it, ha, ha sound. So interesting, the shape often conveys something as well, eh? Not just the way that we pronounce it, but also the way that we write it. And that's it, a little short again. Some sounds are shorter than others. Now we have finished the petals, the chakras, lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, which is in the 5th chakra. I mean, it's very associated to the 4 and 6, as I mentioned, but the 5 is between the 2, so this is connected. And now the 3rd eye is already a, and the 7th is om, so we are not going to go into those. We come back to the letters, and then now we're going to go down through the body, through the consonants. So next video, we will start with the K, and we will go K, G, and then go down through the body with the consonants according to how they vibrate. Remember, this is different. It's not just about the body, but this is about the psycho-emotional effect that they produce. And that's why even though H is very much vibrating on the throat chakra, we associate it a lot with the 4 and the 6 as the sound of the aspirant sound. And to say that in Sanskrit we find this sound linked to many letters. In the alphabet, you can have the straight letter like ka and kha. So that here all these have this aspirant sound, which is the one we just did now, and conveys this aspect of the air. It gives extra air to it. And, you know, we are doing this work studying the English language. It would be really nice to study the Sanskrit. I don't know enough Sanskrit to do that. I don't know any Sanskrit really. I just know a few words. So but if we knew, and maybe we will do a little bit of, you know, putting our toes into the pool on Sanskrit, and we would find that what is the effect of adding the H to these aspirant sounds of ka, ga, yeah, pa, pa, ba, ba. And it would be very interesting because of what we say, that the Sanskrit is a language that is discovered, not invented. But that will be another video. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like it and share it with others. And thank you for everyone and all the members. Until next time, Saddam.